Yeah. So this is our topic for today. We are going to see about the Nintex DocVision enlightening experience and what are all the features which we can able to do in DocVision. We'll see very detailed in this session. And this is a short description about our admin group, Salesforce admin group Trichy. Kadar Basha is the community group leader, and myself, I'm one of the community group co-leader. So we both are the group leaders for this admin group, and we have very much expertise in Salesforce admin as well as development, and we have 3+ years of experience in Salesforce domain. And Harini Ranganathan, she's going to act as a speaker for today, and she's going to walk through about the Nintex DocGen features and all these stuffs. So without any wait, I'll hand it over to Harini, and she's a software engineer too, and she has 2.5 years of experience in Salesforce, and she have real-time experience in DocGen. Yeah, I think Harini, you can take over from here.
Yeah, thank you, Sundar. Hi, team. Thank you, everyone, for joining today. Without wasting much time, let's get started with our today's agenda. Sundar, can you please let me know if my screen is available?
Yeah, it is visible. So you can go on presentation mode.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, team. So basically, we have all come across a situation wherein like we need a job document that has to be generated, and mostly we will opt for Visual Force that is being by default provided by Salesforce, mainly for this downloading of a PDF purpose. But DocuGen is a good example of readily available package that you can install from the app exchange that we have always seen in Salesforce. Kind of it acts as a Play Store kind of thing, which lets you to download any app that is being required for us to view. So through that, with that help, we can download DocGen, and this is being a product of Nintex. So it is often referred to as Nintex DocGen package. So while downloading that package, we can achieve the same functionality, whatever your VF page does, in a much easier, simpler, and faster manner. Basically, why do we go for this? When VF is available, why do we look for alternative? The main key point wherein we go for alternative is nothing but the no code feature. No code feature not only helps us to download in a or make that template available in a faster manner, but as well saves a lot of time. Say for example, if we are going to prepare a VF code and start to ensure that the PDF document that is being generated is going to work perfectly, and it is the estimated time is 2 days. The same thing can be achieved using DocGen, that is Nintex DocGen, with half a day of a work by a developer. So since it is no code, it is not no code feature. It is not necessary for the person who is developing to know very thorough background and knowledge of Apex. It is it requires very minimal knowledge of coding that only includes SOQL query. So as developers or as users, we have come across Salesforce users, we have come across developer console wherein we just take the object we want, query things, and put it and execute that query and get all the records that are under the specific object. So that is what is mainly required when you go for a doc gen package to work on things without no code. So this is a very basic and very important feature that helps you to work very efficiently and reduces a lot of time that is going to be taken when you opt for VF page. So that is a very important thing. So how to install this DocGen? DocGen is very similar to a normal package, which you go to the link. This link helps you to install that package, and very normally, how do we install a package? We go select whichever package we want, choose it, and then allow the admins to use, or specific users can be assigned to utilize that package. And then we ensure that whatever they are providing is allowed, and then we proceed further. After that, it will be installed, and post installing, you will be getting a confirmation mail in your emails stating, hey, hi, this package so and so. The very similar regular routine process which is used to install any other package is being similarly followed for DocGen as well. It does not include any out of the box things to just install it, very basic things. So post that, where you can go check if DocGen is being installed. Unlike other packages, DocGen will take, say, a couple of minutes extra, since it has its own applications, objects, and the rest of the functionalities, and that are quite a little bit big when compared to any other small packages. It may take time to install, but of course, post 5 minutes, you'll get to know that you'll receive that confirmation mail, and the DocGen will be installed. So after that, where can you go and check? Similarly, go in for install packages. You can go check in there. So I'll show you that. So for here, we are in the lightning mode. Once after your package is being installed, just take a minute to check to ensure that the entire package is installed correctly. So you can give package, install packages. Apart from whatever that is being present already in the org, this will be available in the installed packages. Since I'm just using a fresh org, it's just only thing that's available. So you'll get this kind of a thing that is going to be available from your end in the installed packages thing. So post that, yeah, done, your package is being installed. So let's, since we consider it as a package, let's see why we call it as a package and what are the utilization of the packages. Mainly, a package is nothing but it consists of, or it is a bundle of things that are required for the PDF to generate. So if you say the PDF has to generate, then it might meet a criteria or may not meet a criteria. And whatever the name that you are giving to that package will help you to identify that package in future. And whatever the template, the Word document or the PDF document at the end stage, which is going to look like from the user's point of view or from the user's perspective, you have to design it in a normal Word format and then upload it and start working out in there to proceed and do the other things. So that is all the things that is being present in a package. So I'll show the quick demo. Okay, so once we have installed our DocGen, we'll be provided with an app. So that will be named as Nintex DocGen. Just you can go to the app launcher section and see it. So it will be, since I am already inside there, we can't. I'll just give this. So this is how it will look. Once you click it, it will land to this page. And after that, it will have a few more things like home, DocGen admin, DocGen package, DocGen queue, and this is I have added in a customized manner. Let us leave that for now. So the rest of the things are being provided by DocGen, Nintex DocGen in default manner. So when you're going to click that DocGen tab, so it will show whatever already, if there are any packages present or if there are existing packages, the list will be displayed. If you are going to start fresh, nothing will be here and we'll be just starting from a very fresh manner. So what is this DocGen package going to do? It'll do everything we want, or it'll do everything that we need for the PDF to be generated. So I'm going to give it as test package. So this is going to be the name. And here are the few types of format which the PDF will be generated: just code, proposal, legal agreement. So letters, all these things are few types that we have come across in a day-to-day manner. So report will be in reporting format. It will not have much difference between one another. It is just a kind of convention type for the end user, or sorry, from the developers to know, oh, okay, so this package is going to hold this kind of type or this kind of document, and it belongs to this type. So for that, it is mainly used. So I have just give it as 4. Starting object. What is the starting object? The starting object plays a vital role in a package because the starting object is going to determine what are all the fields, that is your sales force fields, that you are going to map to the end PDF that is going to be generated by the end user. So the starting object can be anything. It can include all the standard and custom objects. As we are able to see, here are a few standard objects that is being listed by Salesforce. Similarly, if you click other, it will go to the custom objects that are provided available, and other objects that does not come under 6 or 7 that was already being listed. So it will come under that. So in this org, I have vaccination as a custom object. So I think, yeah, we have so it should be present here. See, we have this vaccination. So all these will be present. Or if you are going to operate only on the with only these things, and you need anything within this list, you can choose it from here directly. Let's keep that in mind. You can branch to multiple objects, including a child or a parent, but the starting or the very base object can only be one object, single object alone. You cannot, the starting object cannot be 10 set of different objects. That is not possible. Only one can be a starting object, which can be branched to multiple children or multiple parents based on the requirement we have. So these are the basic things that are available. Description is optional. You can give anything. I'm just going to give test. And here we have make DocGen package available on. So where do you want this package to be available? Or where do you want that button to be available? It will be on individual records or on lists and reports. So individual records means when you go, I can show you that. So here I have a record. This is going to be my, oh, sorry team. Yeah, I have a contact record, and this is the contact record which I have, and it holds all the details that I have entered. So where do I want this? How can I generate the button? I mean, the PDF. You can only generate the PDF if and only if you go to the specific object manager, put the generate document button, or for Lightning, it is a Lightning activity session in place, so that you will be able to click that and download the PDF. So I can show that quickly. From object manager, like how you place a normal custom button which we have created. That is how it will look. Let's go to the layout. So this is the contact page layout. Yeah, so for in the classic view, so it has DocGen works both in classic and Lightning, and there are a few differences on both based on the functionalities. So for classic view, you don't have this mobile actions and Lightning things. So for classic view, it will be under buttons. Generate document button will be available, and you have to drag and drop it here, and it will be in the custom button section. Unless or until you drop this, you will not be able to click the button and generate the PDF, so that will not be possible. Then for Lightning view, if you want that to be available on the first part, you can just drag it. So earlier this generate document button was there. I just pulled it and placed it in here. That's it. That's all I did. So with that help, you will be able to see the this Lightning action or button in the contact page. This is a very basic and important step. So only if you place the button, and only if you give these things individual records and lists and reports allowed, then only we can be able to proceed, or else you can only see the contact information or the related information and not this button. So button will not be available, so that itself will stop from us from downloading the required PDF. So this is the data section. Okay, we have to save it. Then it will go to a document section. So document is like uploading files. This uploading files part is nothing but the template. For example, I have a template here. So this if I once load this Word, it will at the end, if I go and click in the contact record, it will download a PDF. So that PDF, that end PDF will be in this format. So this word acts as a template here. Hi, the contact name will be displayed and the address, related account, and rest of the things will be displayed. So for now, let's see up to this alone. On the next 10 and 20 minutes, we'll look into the next half of this thing. So once I upload this document test word, then only we'll be able to download the PDF. So this is going to be the format for which your end or the resultant PDF will look like. So I'm just going to select and download it. I'm just going to put this inside the test word part. I mean the test word, my document, I'm going to place it inside the documents section. And this is the document. So if I want to change the document in future, you can just click this, give replace document, whichever document you feel like to replace, you can just click this button and then choose the file, whichever file is required for now, then you can replace it. So that is how it will work. Then we have delivery. So delivery is nothing but how your file name should be, the output file name. So if you want it as file, you can have it, or if you want it as letter, or you can want it as quote, anything you can name. You can even just name it as PDF or NPDF, anything it can be. So whatever names you are going to provide, you can provide and just click a save on that. So once this part is done, the very basic requirement of your package is being created. So now your package will contain a basic object and the template in which the PDF has to be generated, and which is the end PDF name. Everything will be hold or to be combined together in a bundle called as DocGen package. So post that. Now, how will we able to achieve this kind of thing? So these are referred to as field taggers. What is the purpose of the field tagger? The field tagger pulls the field from the Salesforce, and when you download the PDF, and that PDF will contain all the values. So only if these field taggers are in your template, it will pull the value from Salesforce and put it in there so that the end user will be able to see it. So the field taggers do nothing but pulling value from Salesforce. So where do you see in here, where do we see field tagger? We see field tagger here. So we can go there, click that button that is in there as field tagger, and choose the object. So now I have my basic or the primary object which the entire thing is going to work is based on contact. So I can choose contact and I can choose the specific field if I want, or I can just give view all and see all the fields that are present in contact. So this is how the thing works for the primary object alone. So now let me just generate a document and show. So on the contact record, I just went in there, click generate document. And for this object, we have many packages. So let's choose this, our contact form package. I think my cookies or something is blocking thing. Give me a minute to.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, so in we here. So let's give this generate document button again and do the same thing. I think it will not block here. So once if you have chosen the package or whichever thing you have wanted to, this kind of processing document kind of thing will be available. So here this is file and it is not PDF content, because that was another document which we did, that is the test document package. But here we are using contact. So here, once you click that file, it will be downloaded automatically and you'll be able to see it. Let's go click it and see. Here we have test contact, that is the name of the contact, and whatever details that we have or address that are being provided inside the contact record in Salesforce are being fetched from Salesforce and are being displayed here. This will happen if and only if the field tagger which we have chosen, which I showed you from earlier thing, was right. So if we don't place the right field tagger, or if we miss out the field tagger, anything that you want to pull from Salesforce will not be pulled. So the very common mistakes that we do is either we place the field tagger in a mispronounced way, or I mean the missyntaxed way, we miss that syntax, or we'll just keep it blank and try to generate the document thinking that will show the value. So in both the cases, you will not get the correct values, because it will either be blank, or the field tagger which we have misspelled, or which we have missed the syntax, that will directly be printed. How this mailing street and mailing city are getting printed. Similarly, instead of the values on the right side, the tag that holds the wrong syntax will just be printed as it is. So these are the common mistakes that we do. So for contact, it being a primary object, I just took the contact field tagger directly and placed it here. So as we all know, account and contact are related. How? In Salesforce, account act as a parent to contact. So how can I get the account details from contact? Same, using the field taggers. Always in when we talk about DocGen, field taggers play a vital role. So you can go here quickly, and here we have account. So from account, you can just directly take whatever fields that you want and then put it on the template and proceed. So most of us make a mistake in here. So we'll place the field tagger correctly and we'll not skip. Everything will be correct. But then when we try to generate the PDF, again, that part will be blank. Another common mistake is if you go to Salesforce and see, we'll not put the correct value inside that field. So if the field is also empty, then you will not get anything being pulled or being populated on your end template, because as such the field is empty. So again, this is a third common mistake everybody of us do, and then that will eventually end in having a blank or empty area on your resultant PDF. So these are the three common mistakes. So ensure these are not happening in order to get all the values correctly and getting populated on the end result. So for now, we have just seen two use cases: getting the contact value directly, or the primary object value directly through Salesforce, and another one is going and seeing the account, which means getting the values from the parent directly. So these are two things that we have seen. What if you have a situation wherein you have to put a checkbox in your template and see if that checkbox works or not? So this is the third use case which we are going to see today. So this is nothing but very simple but very notable. In here also, whatever syntax that we are using is very, very important to ensure the resultant PDF requires proper and correct value. So how do we see a checkbox if it is being generated? So let me go to the document. See, is true is just a normal text that I have put in on the Word document, but then here we have obtained a checkbox. So when you think if I just pull that checkbox field from Salesforce and then put it here directly, it will give me the result. No, that is not how DocGen will work. DocGen will work only if you have a proper syntax. Here we have an example of syntax. One such syntax, that is if contact is true. So contact is true is a field from Salesforce. So where it is being located inside the contact. So I can show you that. Hold on a minute, team. I'll just go to the record and show you. So contact, if you go to contact details, all the fields that are available are being displayed, and is true is one such field where the checkbox is true. Hence, as per the condition we have given. So if contact is true, the field tagger which we have obtained, if that is true, then, so this is going to be the conditional part, and then true is what we are going to check. So till from the field tagger to this part will be the conditional part, and if it is true means this symbol will be displayed, or it will be present in the PDF. If it is false means this empty, the checkbox that doesn't hold any tick will be present in the end PDF. So how did I achieve this? This is very simple. So let's go to the insert. You will here find field. So if you just click on the if, you can start typing your so as it shows the syntax: expression 1 operator, expression 2 true text, false text. So this is how the expression is, as if you see, this is how we have given as well. So this is how you place the thing and enter the merge format. So in other words, you can relatively call it as merge format. When you see on the syntax that is going to show a checkbox or that is not going to show a checkbox, the common mistakes that we do based on the checkboxes. Team, please don't raise the hand. Let's finish this off, and we'll be having a Q&A session. Let's see things on there. So this is going to be the field that you're going to pull from Salesforce. And if you give one space here extra or one space here from the start, nothing is going to work. Just ensure you are always under a proper syntax for your DocGen to be generated and the net result to be displayed. So in all the in this entire line, ensure there is no unwanted space, because unwanted space will not it is not allowed in DocGen syntax, and it will not help you to get the it will block you from getting the right output. So this is how this merge format. So but when we downloaded it, or if you compare the downloaded document, it only showed the tick. It didn't show anything else. So how did you manage to get that? So let's highlight this part, select this part, and update the field. So once you update the field, it kind of shrinks. Only the false part will be available, and you will not be able to see anything else apart from your false part. Once you toggle it again, you will be able to see the entire thing. Again, one common mistake here. Generally, we try something, we see if that merge format worked or not, and it didn't work. Again, we are going to give a new merge format and check. The common mistake which we do, we'll change the format here, or we'll change the mistake here. Just give a control S to save the document and again upload it. And once again, if you try to generate the PDF, the same error will occur, because it is not only necessary to save the document and upload the document again, but it is very, very necessary to save or update the toggle that you have rewritten. So from here, we have a button called as update field. You have to update it, then only it will be reflected. So first thing you will be doing is, once if you feel things are not good and the entire PDF didn't give the required value, the basic thing we'll do is we'll rewrite the syntax, update it, save the document, and again we should go as I have shown. We'll go in the replace document part and replace it again. The packages, as I have already shown. Yeah, through here we'll click and we'll try to replace it again, so that the latest or the updated format of our documents are being present and not the old one is used. So that is how we should do things here. So these are the three common mistakes that we often do, and that will prevent us from getting the required or the provided output. So let's avoid from doing all these things. So now this is the third use case. Next, let's jump to the Fourth use case. Fourth use cases, so far we have seen like we took parent, we took the primary, we saw the checkbox. Now how do we go for the child? So when contact has a child, how will you be able to take that child, print it on your in PDF? So this is how you can take the child. So a very common thing is a SOQL query, as I have said. SOQL query is nothing but the same thing. If you want to put a SOQL query in general, what do? We just go to the developer console. Hold on a minute. Yeah, we'll go to the developer console. We'll write the query whichever we want, and then execute it and see the result. The same query, we are going to copy it and paste it. Where are we going to paste it? We are going to paste it on the package. So I'll show you where to paste it. So here we have something, relationships, and then add relationships. So it will have standalone data, SOQL query, Apex data. So standalone data and Apex data are data that is being directly coming from the code. Say if you have any constants or something, that can be fetched as well. SOQL query is nothing but which we have seen. Just paste the SOQL query here. I had a SOQL query, so I can just paste it. I'll just give a duplicate and okay, this is the old document, old package. I'll show you one more package where we have things. Please okay. Okay. Instead of wasting time on that, I'll jump to this. Yeah. So I'll have a docgen package here, the same thing. So I have two, as I showed you one, and earlier I had one on my existing OR. So that is a docgen package as well, and it is named as contact form. So I have put a query here which helped me to pick the data from vaccination and show it. So here I have just added a query. As I have shown you, just copy, put your query on a developer console, copy it, paste it here and click the save. And a few things that we have to keep in mind are, we have an alias name here. So if you change, currently I have not given any alias name. So if you give any alias name, then the field tagger that we are going to get will be based on the alias name you have provided. So if you don't want any alias name, just leave it as it is. So after that, you will be able to see repeat by row, column, table. So you can choose row, you can choose table as I have provided, and then you can choose section as well. So what are the how these three things are different from each other. So whenever you are going to give a new object or include the child object and put a query, this will be, these row, table, section will also be part of a field tagger. You have to copy it and paste, which will show the next object. So far contact was coming. Let me show you in the template. So from here, account was coming, contact was coming, and from here we are going to include vaccination object. That is not from contact. That is going to be the child of contact. Hence, the vaccination is going to start here. So vaccination table start. Where did I get this from? I got this from field taggers. So once you place that here, you will be able to fetch the required data from the child as well. So I have, I can give it as row, table or anything, and then I can just click a save. So I'll just show the field tagger for a better understanding. So I've clicked field taggers. So because I have included vaccination object, that is a child to contact under a query, I will be able to see this vaccination SOQL. So if I go and remove that query and there is nothing is going to exist in future, then this vaccination query that is being displayed under this field taggers will not be available as well. So let's choose this, and we'll get all the fields of vaccination that is present in the query, contact name, contact, all these are present in the query, and we are able to take it from there. So replicate row will help you to pick up this vaccination start and copy it in there and proceed. So that is how the vaccination will be working for us. So if you give table, it will be table. If you give row, it will be row. Anything you have got present, just initially copy this field tagger, give it a copy and start working on it. So that is all is being required for you to continue. Let me go to that. Yeah. So vaccination details, the query was present and name was there, and related contact name was also there. So it brought two things. Why date is blank? Date is blank because I have included something that is called as vaccination vaccinated date. This is not a field that is present in Salesforce, but even though I have just included a wrong field, even though the syntax is correct, but the field is not present in Salesforce, it is just showing it as empty. One more common mistake that we all do, not ensuring that the proper field is itself is present in Salesforce and then taking the query and using it. Because if you go to in a better sandbox kind of environment or next level of environment, what we'll miss out is we'll not ensure that the field is being deployed or present to all the environments, and we assume that it is being present and then take things out and try to download the PDF to do unit testing. This is a very common mistake that we all do. So I have just showed one to ensure that this kind of things happen. So before getting to the next part, let's see a very detailed thing about this table. Why this table? So if I have given this contact, where contact is true is another field that we have already chosen, and I'm going to give it as true. If that is being checked, then this field will appear. If I have not checked, there is nothing, and it is being unchecked in Salesforce, it will never show this field at all. And this part, there is a one space between both the double quotes, which is going to be the false part, will be empty. So I can show a quick demo on that for better understanding. Okay, so I have my test contact record here. I'm going to go to the details, uncheck this, and going to save it. Now, if I click this generate document again, after saving and being this as unchecked, let's see how this document will come up. Yeah, since I have unchecked it, the vaccination details table is not being displayed. Earlier it was displayed. In this case, if we take file number 53, it was just displayed with contact, which had the is true checkbox being checked in contact. And as I have unchecked it, this entire table is not being displayed, and just vaccination details is heading is shown and it is just empty. I have just typed it, so it is in here. I can even modify it, like if the condition is true only, then everything I can just copy it and paste it below this line, then it will be showing us. So I have just given a condition wherein if this is being checked, show the table, or else leave it just blank. So that is how it works. So that is the reason why our next, when we try to download it without checking the checkbox, it shows like this. So this is another use case, and it's like how do we go from the main primary object to the parent or to the child. So these are the use cases that we have been seeing throughout. And one more thing which I want to show is we had something called as task, and this task is the field taggers are also provided. But when you go and see the generated document, it is not being present. The reason why is, any guess, as I've always said, you have to, even though we have just included the field taggers, put things on the right place, we have not included this task on the SOQL query. So basically, if we don't tell DocGen like, hey DocGen, take things from using the query, it will not know it. And even though you have done everything correctly, your syntax is right, you have put the table start, everything is present, but the values are not population. Even though the contact will have task, it will not populate because we have not mentioned this task in the query. So we have not related it for DocGen to identify it as being related and bring the or fetch the data from Salesforce and display it here. So these are the very common mistakes that we all do. So like post ensuring the syntax and everything, just ensure you have put the query and the query is right, and then the syntax, everything is fine, and then start executing so that you get the desired output. So this is one example. So there is one very big difference. If you are able to see the, yeah. So in the last part, I have something called as one of two. So this is nothing but the stamp. We can call it as the numbering of the page or kind of page stamp numbers that are being displayed. So this page stamp things are available in DocGen, which helps us to number the PDF if it is more than one page. So I have just included an empty thing because for our use case, simple use case, it doesn't have much data. If you're traversing to 10 or 15, then that end user may prefer numbering, so it will be kind of standardized format. So how do you put this number on your PDF? We can, okay, this is blocking, I'm sorry for going in again. Okay. Yeah, so let's go to this DocGen package, and if you click this contact form, you will be seeing yeah, in delivery options, below that we'll have a few things called as create or edit record and PDF stamps. Currently, both of these two are not available in Lightning, but it is achievable using Classic. So this create or edit record does nothing but whenever you create a PDF document, or whenever a PDF is being generated, it will allow you to create a task or update a field and do some basic operations. And PDF stamp is like what I showed you in this example. The PDF that we are seeing, it will be have the last stamp kind of page numbers present on it. Yeah, this 1 out of 2 kind of thing. So how do you go see that in your Classic? We can just quickly jump to the Classic format. And yeah, so this is the same DocGen package in Classic format. Contact form is the name of the package. So when you go down, scroll down, it will hold all the relationships that we have mentioned and the delivery options and everything. Below that, we'll be seeing something called as insert updates and PDF stamps. This PDF stamp will help you to do that numbering part. It will hold all the, okay, just because I have all, yeah. So we'll hold the Classic and this format page out of, if you just go click in there, it will show the page out of total page kind of formats will be available. Where do you want to place it, what color you want, and which template in which document it should be, and how do you want to place it, what syntax it should follow, what size it should be, what color it should be. All these can be customized in this PDF stamp that is going to be present in your Classic thing. And for now it is not available in Lightning. And we have one more thing that is going to help us create insert updates. So this is, we call something as insert updates. So insert updates helps you to create a task whenever your package is being created. I mean, your PDF is being created. So task, chatter post, and these are the few kind of things that are available. You can even choose task, and if you want to create a task, what are all the required fields present in task and how do you pre-populate it. So those will be asked in there. Once we have provided the required data, then it will allow us to proceed. So these are the few things. So I have already had an insert update where I have just provided the values. So these I have given the value as activity date will be today, subject, call, and everything, who ID, bot ID, everything will be related. So where do we go and see this? We can go and see this on our contact record. So whenever one PDF is being generated with respect to the specific contact alone, you will be able to see those in the activity session in your related thing, in your related list. So I think I haven't placed things on the related list, but you can see the same in Classic. I'll show you. Yeah, it is in the side of here. I'll show you in both how it looks in both Classic and Lightning. As we have moved a lot from Classic nowadays, it's better we go know and discover more on Lightning than still working on Classic itself. Yeah, so these are the values I have given. Waiting on someone else was the value that I gave when I chose that insert update, and that is why it is being created. So every time a PDF is generated, this will be added. So it will be present in open activities. So we can just go to Lightning experience and see in here. So here it will be present. All these things. So how much ever PDF I have generated, or how much ever documents that I have generated, every time it will create a new activity. So on the side we can see. This is how this insert update will look. It can happen and it will happen in Lightning, but for now the only concern is we cannot design the same thing in Lightning. We can just design the same in Classic and then switch back to Lightning and see and however it works. So earlier, this feature was not there, kind of this year update, 2021 update is like that. And PDF stamp and all these things are new feature, and they are working on more new features to come. These are very basic and sample use cases that will help us to look the end result and PDF to look more better and in a enriched manner, as which will look like whenever we go for a code based manner, when we design this same PDF using VF page, that kind of standards we can achieve in same using DocGen with little time and effort. So that is all is about today's demo and topic, and in-depth walking through is like.
Thank you, Arani. So we'll give some minutes to the participants for the Q&A. So participants, do you have any questions?
Yeah, hi, this is Chandrana. So, can you hear me, Harani?
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for the details and explanation. So I just have a quick not two questions. So for the generation, right? Let's say we have multiple objects, right? Like contact, case, and so for all the objects, I mean, we need to prepare a template, or do we have any specific any gender template, or we need to generate for all the objects for separate templates?
Yeah, here template, you mean here you refer to the Word document that I showed you?
Yes, yes.
Yes, that is the thing that we have to design. So in general, if you see the requirements, most of the time this kind of a template will be provided, because whenever we go for this VF page, designing the VF page, earlier we'll be providing look and feel, how the end PDF should look like. So that look like is your Word document. You don't have to create that Word document. That look like that will be provided is your Word document. All we have to do is just place the field tagger on the correct position in order to get the correct values populated from Salesforce.
Thank you. And one more thing, Harini. So, I mean, do you have any limitations with respect to size? Let's say we have more size, like more MBs. So, I mean, do you have any limitations with respect to size?
Size here, do you refer to number of pages?
Yes, number of pages.
No, nothing like that.
Because sometimes we have a number of line items, right? Under product configuration, we may have a multiple line items which eventually have more pages.
That will not be a problem. You can have multiple pages. From my end, I have worked with 30 to 40 and it will not be a problem. Maybe there can be a 1 second delay while it renders. That is the maximum thing that we'll get in here. So that will not be a problem. It will just pass through 13 or 14 pages very easily. It will be like cakewalk. That will not be a problem.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Anything else, team?
I guess no one has any questions. Arun. Thank you. Thank you for your wonderful presentation. It was good. And also thank you participants for joining and spending your valuable time. Thanks everyone, and we'll meet up in the upcoming meetups.
Thank you, Sundar.
Yeah.
Thank you, team.
Thank you, Sundar. Have a great day. It's a nice, healthy conversation. Thank you. Thanks for your time to Harini and everyone.
Thank you, Harini.
Thank you, Sundar. Thank you.
Thank you.